Today I'm going to show you how to make a how-to writing piece. It's funny because I'm doing a how-to on a how-to. Anyways, so you're going to get a Google slide presentation that has 3 slides: the direction slide, the graphic organizer, and where you're going to actually type it out. This is similar to the opinion writing we've done. Now, a how-to is essentially you're teaching someone how to do something. Now let's look at step 1. Choose something you know how to do really well. You have to know how to do it well enough to teach someone who doesn't know. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to write about something that we know really well that we can teach someone else. We have to be able to do it, say all the specifics and the details. So it's important that we know how to do it. Okay, so I said here, choose something simple. If you start getting into things that have a lot of steps, you're going to be writing for a long time, and you'll be surprised at how quickly things can like how many steps things have. If you're really good at it, it's easy for you, but when you have to sit down and explain it step by step, it can take a long time. So choose something very simple. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to do like an example one for you right now. So right now, I'm going to choose something simple. My topic, okay, what I choose is going to be how to cook chicken. I've cooked chicken many times. I know how to cook chicken really well. That's something that I feel comfortable making a how-to. Okay. Now after we choose, so now that I have that idea that I'm going to do a how-to cook chicken. Number 2 says plan out your introduction in the graphic organizer. The introduction should tell the reader what you're going to teach them and should include any materials or ingredients needed to your task. So if I go to my graphic organizer here, here's my introduction box. Tell the reader what your topic is. So you don't need to write complete sentences for a graphic organizer, but sometimes it's helpful so that you have less work to do later. But so this won't be exactly, but this will be, I'm going to tell the reader. So also I should mention, well, I can mention that later. Okay, so how to cook chicken. We're going to list. Now, there are many different ways to cook chicken. And I can either write about all the ways to cook chicken. You can bake it, you can grill it. Those are the ways that I typically cook chicken. So I'm going to, but like say that you had like so many ways you knew how to do something, you might want to pick one just for this assignment. Now, because I only have 2, I can do them both pretty simply. So I'm going to probably do both of them. Okay, so how to cook chicken, and I'm going to put grilled and baked. I'm going to talk about how to do it grilled and how to do it baked. Okay, now the ingredients or materials. Now this is a recipe essentially, but I'm going to need things that you might not, that aren't food, that you're going to need when you're explaining this. So for one, I'm going to need a grill. I'm going to need an oven if I'm talking about how to bake it, right? I'm going to need chicken. Now, I don't want to just say chicken. I want to say chicken sliced in tenderloins. That's how I buy them, so that they're smaller pieces. So you're going to need to buy chicken sliced in tenderloins, and I'll put some spices here that I typically like to use. Garlic powder. It's taco seasoning, and you can buy it in the package at the store. Olive oil is important. Olive oil. Now I'm also going to need things that are not just food. I'm going to need a gallon sized Ziploc bag. That's like a really big Ziploc bag because that's how I marinate the chicken. Marinate means like make it so that it soaks up all the spices and like the sauces so that when I grill it, it will be good. So I'm going to do a gallon size Ziploc bag. I'm going to need 3 forks. And when I explain, you'll understand. I'm going to need a container to put the cooked chicken in. So when it's done, you're going to need to put it into a container. Okay, now that I have my topic, I'm going to move on to my first step. Okay, so you'll notice that the boxes are labeled with like sequence words, words that tell you the order of something. First, next, then, finally. So you want to think it out really specifically and what you do first, what you do next, then what do you do, and finally what do you do. So first, this is after gathering all the ingredients. Materials. You need to marinate the chicken. Okay, so I'm going to tell them how to do that. So in the gallon sized Ziploc bag, you will put the chicken tenderloins inside. Then you will add, and because this is more like a recipe, I'm going to give like amounts. You might not have that in yours. But again, I'm just doing it step by step. Now I'm going on to the next part. Then you will need to add 1/2 cup of olive oil, 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce. Now I'm realizing I forgot a material. I didn't put it in my introduction. You need measuring cups. How are you going to do this without the measuring cups? So I need to add that back to my introduction part. So if you are doing the steps and you realize, oh, I'm using something that I didn't put in my introduction, make sure you add that in there. Measuring cups. All right, so I have my first step. I tell them how to prepare the chicken. Now I'm going to tell them how to start cooking the chicken. So before I do that, I just want to show you kind of how I wrote the first part. After gathering all the ingredients and materials, you need to marinate the chicken. Come there. In the gallon-sized Ziploc bag, you will put the chicken tenderloins inside. Then you will need to add 1/2 cup of olive oil, 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce, 3 tablespoons of garlic powder, and 3 tablespoons of taco seasoning into the bag. Seal the bag tight and move it around well so all the ingredients mix with the chicken. If I were to just say seal the bag and move it around well, I emphasize that it's because you want all the ingredients to mix with the chicken. That's important to this recipe. So I wanted to add that in there. And then I suggest letting the chicken marinate overnight. So that's another tip that I've learned through my years of cooking chicken. So I'm going to move on to the next ones. I'm going to fast forward a little bit, just so, for sake of time. Okay, so where we left off was I was on the first or second step. I finished my graphic organizer. I decided because I wrote so much that I only am going to talk about how to grill chicken, not bake it. So like as I'm going, I'm figuring out, okay, I don't want to do it like this. I want to do it like this. I want to add this part. I want to take this part away. So you can be doing that while you're writing. That's the important part. So I broke it down into first, next, then, finally. Okay, giving as many specifics as I can. It's important for you to think about how you do whatever it is, step by step. Again, it might come automatically to you, like it might be easy for you, but for someone else it might not be easy. So it's important that you explain every step. So you have to think long and hard about, okay, first I do this, then I do this. And finally, you need a conclusion. This is a conclusion sentence, not super long. It's just reminding your reader about what you taught them. So that's how you make grilled chicken. Enjoy. That's what I wrote. Now I started typing out from my graphic organizer onto the page here, and I want to show you how I started. So we start with our introduction. We're telling the reader what the topic is, right? You want to tell them what you're doing and the ingredients they need. Let me show you how I wrote mine. Have you ever had really dry or burnt chicken? Now, I didn't write this in my graphic organizer, but I added it in the final writing piece. That's fine. You can always add things that you didn't put in your graphic organizer, but the graphic organizer is just like a guide. It's to help you, like you should definitely go by what you did in your graphic organizer, but if you want to add things here and there or fix things, you definitely should. Now, this is like a way to kind of get the reader's attention. Like, oh yeah, I've really had fried chicken before. Not so good. Say no more because I'm going to show you how to make the most juicy chicken you've ever tasted. So this is another sentence that's like, it's exciting. You want to make the writing interesting, okay? So starting off in like a fun way like that can be really helpful to get your reader's attention so that they're really paying attention to what you're saying. You don't want them to be bored while they're reading. Then I go ahead and say beforehand, you need to have, and I tell them all the things they need. Okay? Then I'm on to the first step. The first thing you will do will be to marinate the chicken. That's one sentence. That's the main thing that they're going to have to do. And now I'm going to explain how they marinate the chicken. Okay? So I got that from my first box. I'm going to go to my next box. I'm going to type this out underneath, and you can put a space in between each paragraph. Okay, and now after you marinate the chicken, which means let it sit in like the sauces, you're going to actually grill the chicken. So that's the next part, is grilling the chicken. Now there's two parts to grilling, the next and the then. I split it up into two separate parts because they're a little bit separate. They're a little bit different. You might find that you don't need 4 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4. You might only need 3. That's okay. Try to explain as much as you can. So I'm going to type all this out in complete sentences, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what it will look like when I type it out in its final form.